Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. I saw a lot of people already jumping in the comments. It's always nice to see you guys chatting beforehand. Um, let's see. I saw Sherry checking in super early. Peggy's here. Miss Susan. Kathleen's checking in with us. Gail's here. Michelle. Let's see. Mom's here. Lisa. Uh, Miss Virginia is here. Everybody's worried, wondering if you got your house. I saw all of those comments coming through. Soon, it looks like, very soon. Let's see. Brennan's here checking in. Miss Maria. Miss Judy's here. Jackie Ann said it's wet and rainy in Kentucky. Oh, goodness. Lori's here. Mary Ann's checking in. I am not sick as of now. I've been informed that my husband is not feeling great. So if he gets sick, it'll just be a matter of time for me, basically. It's much easier to avoid the kids or, bring them things and then run away versus, sleeping next to somebody who's sick. And I won't sleep somewhere else. It's just not in the cards for me. So we'll see. Hopefully between now and Tuesday, I can, if I'm going to get it, I can get it and get better and I'll be back like normal. Exactly, Melissa, man flu for sure. So we'll see. We'll see. My oldest has been fever free for a couple days, but unfortunately, she has a harsh cough. So we're fingers crossed that she might be able to get back to school tomorrow. She's definitely not contagious anymore, but that cough, it's like sometimes she can't even just like talk because she's coughing so much. And then my youngest ended up getting it Tuesday morning, I think I told you guys, and she's already completely better and she's going to school tomorrow too. So we're hopefully getting out of the woods. And I love it when if we all get sick, it's really better that the kids get it and are like better by the time we get it, because then, and if he gets it first, he usually gets it first. And then me, it's like we get to space it out pretty good. I see Miss Annette jumped in while I was talking, and Linda's here. Oh my gosh, Linda, I'm so sorry. I'm glad that she's doing good enough for you to take her home, though. So that's good. All right, let me go ahead and swap views. There we go. So I really wanted to play with this set again. They're just too cute. And I had seen when I was going through the Pink and Main Instagram hot from the release, I had seen a card from Nikki Meek, she's his Nikki New NOO cards. And I have her post tagged in the description. So go show her some love. But her card is just so different from my normal style. And the the colors that she used are very different. So I have it here. So we're not doing anything similar layout wise. And I'm not trying to like copy her coloring, but this like, I don't know if you can really see it. There's like a blue halo inked behind her popped up images. And it's just so soft and pastel. And then the red kind of pops. I would never have come up with these colors on my own. And so I thought that it would just be super fun to kind of use that color palette, that color story as inspiration, and kind of try to do it, my own spin on it. But I grabbed our construction and barber shop, and then I borrowed a red. I'm going to see if we can like do second stamping, right? So like stamp off to get lighter versions of these. If it doesn't work, we'll borrow some more distressing colors. But I'd like to at least try that first to see what I can achieve. And I'm just going to keep her post over here on the side for me for reference. Yeah, I just love her style. Her coloring style is so fun. Um, that I thought it would be a fun one to was that casing? I don't know if that's the same. I don't know if that includes if that's like for layout or just vibes. I don't know. I saw Beverly checking in and Raquel's checking in with us. Dawn's here. So thank you ladies so much for joining. And I saw Melissa said she's got this set coming her way. Love it. 10 out of 10. Recommend. They're the cutest little critters. And I want to make a slimline card because I really just want to use as many of them as possible. So I have a little scrap piece left over. We'll stamp on there. But I really want to utilize as many of these as I can. Right. So just to kind of get an idea, this is the length of our slimline, right? 8.5. And we'll do a little math, but I just kind of want to get an idea of how many I can fit across. And I want to, I think, do like every other one as like the Easter egg, like the actual regular egg. Cat, another egg, and bunny. Excuse me, and a little egg. Okay. So it looks like even if I mat, that's going to be a good mix. So let's see how many of these we can stamp out of our scrap. Right, we can definitely get 6, and then we'll just need those last 2. And I kind of like this idea of it being like white underneath them and ink blending that kind of halo shadow effect behind them. Nikki did. I know that I've seen in some of the like chat room, Facebook group chats that people don't always love when other people are inspired by cards, but it feels like that's what we're here doing, right? Like we're sharing pictures of what we're making to inspire others. So I think as long as you're giving credit to your inspiration, and especially if you're not doing the same, but just being inspired by, it feels a lot like that's exactly why we're here. Especially in something like a hop or, when you're on a design team, that's literally why you're here. So, man, I found a pink microfiber and it's just occurring to me that I didn't bring it down here. Don't think. Where would I have put it if I brought it down? Not me running all over my house. No, I have a regular towel and that'll do for now. These are just very, very inky. I'd rather just have to clean them with them from the lint. That's fine. I can live with that. But that's why the microfiber is better. In case you've ever wondered if it makes a difference, it does. That little towel left, little minty pieces all over. Brennan, we'll just talk amongst ourselves. I bet you would. That's how I feel while I'm setting up, and I like see everybody in the chat at like 8:15, and I'm like turning on my lights, making sure I have everything I need, watching you guys chit chat amongst yourselves. It's nice. Like a little group of friends ready to hang out for the evening. Okay, let me trim down this. So we need a 3.5. Well, I guess we could just do it straight onto the card base, right? So we need a 7. And then this will be our mat at what, 3? So that's not going to work. As far as stamping, let's find another piece of shiny. And my idea is to stamp one of the hello sentiments, the new hello, this one, hello sentiments, to stamp this, the hello, and maybe the my sweet friend directly onto the card base too, instead of having to worry about like die cutting or, you know, I think I want to just try to keep it simple and really let the little critters pop and be the focus. I used to keep like backup stamp chamois squeegee thingies at my desk too, but it's been a while since I've used one, so I don't know where they are. Okay. So we have our little critters. I was thinking because in Nikki's card, she has some pattern paper florals on the bottom, that maybe I would make my own kind of pattern paper effect with the eggs. And that's what I was going to do that secondary stamping in. I'm scoring my 7 by 8.5 panel so that the 7 side is getting cut in half. So we end up with a 3.5 by 8.5 panel or card base. And force that fold. All right, so that's going to be our card base. Whoa, my phone or my camera does not like all of that white space. Isn't that so funny? Just that little bit makes it figure itself out. All right, let's see how these look. Secondary stamped onto like this little scrap we have left over. Black, black, and some printer paper. So I'm going to stamp off on the printer paper. So that blue is pretty good. I think we can definitely do a second generation stamp of our blue. And this is going to be extra good to have clean stamp. Mm, yeah, I'm not loving this. Maybe we just leave it white. Or if I really feel like we need something, we can always add a pattern paper to the base before we add our mat. So let's hold off on that idea. Let's just color and we'll figure out paper afterwards. Okay, so we have all of our cutie little critters. And we're still kind of going with this blue, yellow, red sort of color story. Blue, yellow, red, and white per Nikki. Let's do our whites first. Let's just go ahead and get those out of the way. I'm going with some cool grays. I'm going to have some little white bunnies. I don't want them to be super dark, right? Because we want white, not necessarily gray. Put my little Post-it coaster down. So now my lids have been leaky. So Nikki did do a little dimensional shadow, which we do sometimes. Usually not on critters, usually more on inanimate objects, but I like it, especially because these aren't realistic looking critters by any means. So I'm not going to attach the shadow to the outline of my little bunny. We're going to leave it floating a little bit on the sides. Melissa said you could use an embossing folder, and that's true. And before I finished reading what you wrote in my head, we could also do an embossing powder, like a very subtle print with embossing powder. Could be interesting. All right, so I jumped from C5 all the way down to C2. And I'm just blending out that C5. I put a little shadow under his little carrot. And then I'm going to go in with C0. Yeah, I feel like we haven't used embossing powder. And I'm just going to use that C0 to make sure that there's no harsh edges where our gray details end. Here he is. Very cute. He needs a little pinky nose, I think. Let's go R02 because we're leaning more red than pink through the rest of this. He's still going to get a true little orange carrot. We don't have a lot of room though, so we're only going to do two colors. And we'll just do one like bright fun green for the carrots down. So YR09 and a little YR04. And I love how Nikki does her blush. I'm not going to do the little like dots. I'm not going to do it to the extent that she does, because that seems like a signature her thing, but I will give him a little blush. Because sometimes I do that. It's so funny. For some reason, he looks mad today. Let's go with white. And I am going to add his little eye highlights. I think that's really cute. There's our first little bun down. Let me do both bunnies and then we'll come back to the eggs. All right, so this guy's going to be the same colors. Adding my shadows to the same parts. So it's going to kind of skip over his little arm. And then go under his bow tie. I forgot to add it to his hair. I'm so excited. I've been making all kinds of videos this week. I got some fun stuff in the mail and prepping for the next Pink and Main release even early. It's going to be a very exciting month in February. Lots of fun things coming. Let me add this to his little like bang pieces here just so they're not, you know. Okay, and then some cheeks. And we need a bow tie color. So this is when I think it would be good to have our like blue. I'm thinking like the B, like zeros. Use these. Oh, it just occurred to me I stamped these on ice rink because I'm supposed to be using Olos. My bad. I forgot. We can always mix it up and add in some Olos. Good to know that the Copics are working pretty good on this ice rink, though. I haven't used that in a long time together. I just kind of default to the Copic Expressive. So that's good. Okay. Oh, yeah, a little bun. So there's our two little bunnies. I think they're very cute. Okay, for this chickadee, let's grab the Olo chart and see what kind of cute yellows we have at our disposal. I'm thinking like a 2.5 shadow. That's the fastest I've ever found a color. It's like a 2.5 and then 2.3 and then maybe like a really light, not a YG, but like a Y, maybe Y 2.0. See if I can manage that again. 2, 2. No, and jinx myself. There's no need for us to check. Let's try it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we're swapping the Olos for this guy. So YO 2.5. Same thing though. I'm gonna not attach my shadow to the edges. And when I do this, for anything that's this like rounded shape, I try to not ever make it like a full circle. I like to pick one side that just has more shadow than the other. So for all of these, that left-hand side is getting a more solid like semicircle. And then the right-hand side is getting a couple smaller shadows. I'll just kind of break up the color on those little wings. I can start pulling that, and this is kind of the shade where I'll connect those. I think it's probably from how many pumpkins I've colored in my card making career that we just like habitually leave that part out. And then Y02, no, Y2.0, and blend that. Let's see, that might be too big of a jump. I don't know, I kind of like it. That's kind of fun. You can see how that really light color almost kind of like it's physically knocking the darker like color dye molecules, I guess, like around, but it gives it kind of like a soft, almost like fuzzy kind of look. And I really like that. I like that for that shadow too, because it doesn't look orange. And normally if you don't want your shadow on yellow to look orange, you can use like a purple, but I really like that kind of darker gold. That's pretty. And then just for continuity, I'm going to come in with that YR09 Copic that we used for the carrot to do the little beak, just so it's simple. And I'll bring in that same green too, that YR07 that we used for the carrot stem. And we'll add that for our little flower. And then I think this would be a good place to bring in our like red. So let's reference back over here. This like R04 looks like the kind of not quite pink, not quite red, like R03, R04. Perfect. And then I want like one lighter. These just look really light. That's a big jump. Maybe like OR 2.2. OR 3.2. There's 3. Really orange. How many markers will I have to find? That's always the question. We'll just go for 2.1. Yes, Sherry, I'm glad that you found it because I was going to say yes. Yes, I do have the You're My Favorite. I think we just used those. Okay, so for our red, we'll just do the little 0.4, 0.3, and I'm going to use that 3 for the little chick's cheeks, just because it has a little bit more like a punch of color to it. And then 2.1. OR 2.1. Just like very like little, almost like tropically. Very cute. All right, so this is the progress we're making so far. We're doing good. Let's color in this little cat. And I'm leaving my like blue combo and my orange combo. I'm leaving those out to the side in case I need to go back and, grab them. I know that they're already here. Because when we get to the eggs, I want to use the same red, blue, yellow. I want to use all that. So, all right, for our cat, In Nikki's, she did the bunny tan and the cat gray. So we can do like the reverse and do like maybe not tan, but like a little brown cat. Cute. Denise, yeah, I'm loving the little check. Sherry, was it the Valentine one that we did, the little Valentine favors? All right, so for my cat, I'm gonna start with some E. Look, I just already jumped into, oh, well. We're just gonna have one big happy alcohol marker party where everybody just gets along today. So the E20s, leave her little spot separate for right now. Jump into the 25s. For 25, I guess there's only one of it. And start to blend that color out. And 23. And just because I want this whole card to be lighter versus darker, I'm going to bring in one extra shade on this one where I did only 3 shades with everything else. But I really don't want this cat to be super dark compared to everything else. So I'm just working my way up. And this has like a little hint of oranginess to it. And I think that will look cute with how kind of like happy and yellow our little chick is. A little extra warmth. And then maybe for the eye, we'll add like a little halo of that is now our darkest. And come in with like a 50 to fill in a little white spot over her. And I think her little bow can be our little red combo. So Olo 0.4, 1.3, and then OR 2.1 on the center. And then she needs some little blushing marks too. We'll go with the 0.3. There we go. So there's our critters done. Love them. All right. And my yellows I did put away, which was not my smartest move I've ever made. I had them on my hand. All right, we did those. I just need the light marker. What was my light? Did I do like 1 point? Did I do 1.1? Did I? That seems really yellow. That seems not right. See, and this is why, if you can, you should keep your colors separate. Oh, goodness. What did I do? I'm sure it'll be fine. You can just do 1.1. If it's not exact, it's okay, because the eggs don't have to perfectly match the chick, you know? Okay, so on our little eggs, something that's interesting that I haven't done before that I really liked from what Nikki did on the eggs that I do want to try. She did each section its own color and did like the outer edges darker and the inner lighter. But then she also went around and added the same kind of shading that we did on our critters with gray over all of the colors. So I think I'm going to try that because I haven't done that before and I really like how it turned out. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, ditto, Gail. I know it was an Olo. I know it was a light one. No idea what it was. No idea. It could be that. It doesn't seem quite right, but it's definitely close. Yeah, let's just do all the way, right? Let's make it easy on myself and let's just do like a bunch of yellow at once. Okay. Brennan wants to remind everybody that it's an excellent time to enter the Think and Me monthly challenge if you haven't already. He is very right. It's a good time. Trying to use this BO5 very sparingly because it's really bold slash dark. This is like in movies where it says like inspired by a true story. And so you know like half of it they just like came up with on their own. That's how I feel about this card as it's developing, right? My intention was to be inspired by Nikki, but now it's just kind of its own. Let's bring in our red slash pink. And our last color is going to be white. Hey, Libby. Go. And I think this guy needs a little bit of that yellow. Hey, Sandy. All right, so now is when we're going to go in with our grays. And for this, again, for continuity, I'm going to use the same white/grays that I used before. And I'm going to try to be mindful to not drag this all the way through, like in just one stroke. I don't know. We're going to have to be careful, especially when we're blending out on like this guy, but I'm not picking up the red. But I thought that it was pretty cool effect to see the eggs with their own like true shadow. And sometimes it's nice to try new things. That's what I'm here for. Well, that's good to know. That Olo is not pulling out with the gray like I expected it to. Very interesting. Yes, they should probably connect. So some places where the color was still darker, that lighter gray blending out is definitely pulling that color a little different. But I think when we go in with our like white highlight, that's going to even out and it still gives a really cool shadow. I think the idea would be to not pick very dark colors for whatever you're going to use this over. Yes, we're being very mindful, very considerate, very demure Easter egg. All right, I have that jelly roll 10. I'm going to go in and give my little chickadee her eyes. Let's give the cat her eyes. The little bunny's already good to go. And then I'm going to just break up some of the shadow with some of that highlight. Making sure that that's going over that black outline so it looks like one solid like piece. I think that's really fun. I might not do it all the time, but as like a style choice, for sure fun. Okay, now let's get everybody cut out and we'll figure out what the heck I'm gonna do. Okay, for this. That was very dramatic. Okay, the eggs are gonna just have to get run through the machine a bunch of times. You look like you have your. You also. You, yes. You have your arm up. And I don't know if this looks right. You have an arm up. No. Not even close. I'm running out of options here. We already tried that. There we go. It can't be you because your arms aren't out. What am I doing wrong? Hello? Did I lose my die from my little chick? I'm so confused. That's a bunny. Oh no. Are you guys seeing? Oh, I need to rotate it. See? All right, let's see. How am I rotating? It doesn't, I don't think that's it. There she is. See? And if I didn't come on here to look like a silly goose, then when you guys did it, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm missing a die. And now when you go to use it, Melissa, when you get yours in the mail, you're going to be like, oh, can't forget. The little chick is in here. I just have to rotate it. Caitlin told me how silly it was, but it's real. Yeah, pivot, Brennan. Thank you. Pivot. Okay, let's try this again. I'd mark the sheet with who's who, yeah. I've seen lots of people have like different hacks for how they mark out what goes with what. All right. Bunnies and egg go first. And just using washi tape to hold my dies in place. Brennan, you're just like one walking TikTok. Sorry, I had it too low. I'd hate for you all to miss me frantically washi taping these. Okay. Goes through, and then we'll just have our two little eggs. I'm leaning either a yellow or a blue for our little halo that we're going to make around them. Yeah, Caitlin said. Caitlin also has very little fear of looking dumb on the internet anymore. So, right, like I'm not bothered. And at this point in my card making journey, I've very much learned if I have a question about something, I am not the only one. So it makes my heart happy to know, Libby, that people have questioned that one and that it's not only me. But I am no longer the kid afraid to raise their hand in class and look silly. I'll just be silly. Enough for everybody. Okay. There we go. Gang's all here. Melissa, it's okay if you are just ever don't understand something Brennan says, just assume that it came from TikTok. That's all. Okay. Right on the master, which animal it goes to, right? That would be smart. I already put them back though. Karen, I haven't tried a magnetic pad for dyes. I did get that metal one that we talked about, and then I haven't used it for the very intricate dyes, but I haven't actually tried a magnetic one. If anybody has and would like to put it in the comments, we'd appreciate it because I can't really give advice on that. All right, I trim this down this way and I didn't trim it down this way. So we did 3, so this should be 8. Maybe we halo all the way around them and we just leave the white, the white matte white. Yeah, Denise, sorry. There's if someone's in on Facebook versus YouTube, like you'll only see the other Facebook comments versus like I can see Facebook and YouTube all in one spot. Gail, it's from a Saturday Night Live skit that went viral on TikTok. Don't worry. All right, so that's kind of the gist, right? I do think that that's too plain though. Even with a little halo. What if we leave this white and we just do a little pattern paper strip just on that bottom part to kind of make a shelf for our halo to go behind? How about that? I was looking at the Happy Days pattern paper earlier. It's not long enough, right? We need we need one of the new paper pads. I mean, we have the watercolor spring paper we've been playing with. You know, that's got some good choices in it, but it kind of undoes the limited color palette we've been using. But I also have the Fun Basics, and that has some good colors. So Melissa, my kids are actually like too young for TikTok, but that's my day job. I'm a marketing manager and social media manager at the company I work for. So my whole day, well, not my whole day, a good chunk of my day is making TikToks and Instagram content. So I have to, all of it. I have to do all the things. Oh yeah, Jackie and I saw. I'm debating on if I like them together so I can have eggs on either end, or if I want to switch them. I know I don't want 2 bunnies together. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out in a second. All right, I think that is very pink. That's not the vibe. That yellow is bold, but that is really pretty. So maybe yellow. Ooh, I think I like the blue. You guys help me vote. Do we like the yellow or the blue? I don't even want to look at the red. to make like a little thin shelf for them to sit on, just like an inch, if even, to go across the bottom of our smaller panel. Are we liking the yellow or the blue? Brennan says blue, Jackie Ann says blue. Let's see. Nadine says blue, Dawn says blue, Annette blue. All right, blue it is. I love that the blue, I don't even know if you could see, is little tiny flowers too. So sorry, Kathleen, you've been overruled. But then we'll do a yellow halo. How about that? That'll be the way we handle the combination, right? We'll do a blue. I'm going to cut this a little bigger than I think I need it to be. I'm going to do 1.5 inches. And this should be by 8. That way I can trim some off the bottom if I need to. And then we'll do a little creamy yellow for our little halo. Yeah, that's way too. I'm so sorry. But you did just inspire me, Kathleen, all on your own to do a yellow halo. So I appreciate you. All input is good input. Yes. So this little blue stripe, then all our little babies will go across like that. Right, like that. We'll do a little creamy yellow halo. And I think, let's see if our halo fits. We don't have to get strategic in placement. I think a little centered hello would be cute. I like it. Very good. Okay. So I am going to move all those. And I'm going to take a pencil. If I can find a pencil, because you guys know my kid's favorite game is Move Mom Stuff. These are all pens. I don't want a pen. My little work pencil case here. Okay. I'm going to shift my paper down, my pattern paper down just the slightest bit, and as lightly as I can, draw a line across. So, right, you can see it's like barely visible. That's just going to help me to figure out where to do this ink blending. And I can always bring in a little helper if we need it. I do think, I don't know, I'm worried about construction being a little bright for what I'm aiming for. I'm thinking like a scattered straw. Distressed. All right, and I am gonna give this a little very light erase. I just need to be able to kind of see where it was. I don't want my like pencil lead to end up in my shading. So I'm gonna pick up some scattered straw. And I want to start my color really low and let it blend and build up. We can always bring in our pattern paper just to kind of get a gauge. Right, so that's going to make that really cute. There you go. Now you can see cute little golden halo. I don't really mind that it caught on the edges a little. there. We can kind of bridge that gap so it looks a little more intentional, but I'm really okay with that. And I don't care about it being like in a straight line either, because all of the little egg shapes are going to kind of be bobbing up and down. I'm really okay with it having some variation to it height-wise. Kind of big, soft circles. Those edges. This side definitely got a little higher. So let's bring this side up just a little bit. Not the whole way across, but just so on either end. There we go. Okay. I want to add all of these in foam. No, I don't. I want to add the critters in foam. So let me go ahead and pop in my pattern paper, and that'll help me gauge height so we can stamp our sentiment in before I foam tape everything, and it's extra difficult to get a good flat impression. I'm tell me if I'm crazy. Is the hello in the red cute or too much? Should I just do black or blue? Should we do navy? Hello? Oh, Jackie, and I like how you think. I think I'm just going to alternate them and not stress about it though. Brown. Jackie Ann said brown. Interesting. I would not have thought of that. Denise is saying blue. Okay, everybody's thinking red is too much. All right, noted. All right, so like a navy, black, or like a brown. Brown could be interesting just because it'll be softer. Oh, to like match the cat. And bring in the cat. Jackie, I think you just won me over. Like a vintage photo or like a gathered twigs. Brown. Swatch these out. Gathered twigs might be too dark. I think vintage photo looks better. Yeah, let's do vintage photo. Why not? All right, pop in a couple of these. Doesn't matter if they're in the right order. And this, I'm going to switch to the other corner so that I can attempt math. Right, this is 8, so that's pretty easy. We're working with 4-inch mark. Just trying to use that little 4-inch line to get it mostly centered. Okay. Definitely going to have to stamp this a couple times because the stress inks were not meant to be sentiment stamps. Oh, I like that idea. Changing up so they're not all the same phone height. That's cute. Hello. Let's pop this onto our card piece. You know what I need to do is add my sweet friend on the inside. I'm going to do that either in a minute or later, because if I do it right now, I'm going to have to pull the misty out, and I'm not ready, mentally prepared. I just put it away. And if I try to hand stamp it, I'm going to mess it up. But just know that my intention is to put my sweet friend sentiment on the inside. Okay, so there's a very sweet little background, like the white. And then don't want the brown cat and the brown hello to be too close to each other. Okay, what did I do with my scissors? Start with this, so I'll save it down here. And I don't want him to go over the edge, but I want him to go right up to the edge. Okay. I know my foam tape is getting very small again. This will be my third roll of foam tape I've gone through. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I have another giant roll upstairs in my suitcase. One of the ones that didn't quite make it back to Pink and Main headquarters after Simon Says Create, because I was doing my duty as a Pink and Main girl to not cost Michelle shipping. This is a really cute idea, Jackie Ann. Thank you. I'm doing doubled up foam on tinier strips for these bunnies so that I don't, or for the critters, so that I don't have to worry about them like touching the eggs. Probably don't have to go this thin, but and then a single foam on the eggs. Kind of trying to give them a little tilt here and there. And it's kind of cute because they're almost like a little like weeble wobbly. Yeah, Brennan. Valley was very concerned about having to pay to ship all of that stuff back. I was just happy I was able to help in such a profound way. don't get me wrong, we also gave a ton of leftover product to all the Pink and Mean girlies that came to see us at our table, to be fair. All the attendees who came to check in with us and to do our make and take got to take plenty of uh, extra kits and stuff home. If I eat, we all eat. You know what I mean? OMG. How stinking cute is that? It probably could handle a little bit of shimmer or sparkle, but I think I'm good. I think I really like how like bold the color is. And then imagine it with my sweet friend on the inside. I really like that. Well, we definitely went a little bit over tonight. So if you're still here, I very much appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this one. I think it came out very cute. Shout out to Nikki New Cards. Go check out her post. It's tagged in the description. Give her Pink and Main card some love if you haven't already. And they would be cute as wobbles. Susan, I was thinking that I literally have Pink and Main wobbles right here. And I was like, at least this bunny, here, I'll do it while I finish. He needs to be a wobbler. He's like right in the middle. The other ones can just kind of be popped, but he should wobble. All right, so while I do this, let me tell you in case nobody's done a wobbler before. There's stickies on either side of this little like spring. So I don't know if this is right, but this is what I do. The one that has the hole cut into it goes on what you want to wobble. And then the other side has sticky too, but the whole like solid flat side, that's the part I put on my cardstock. And I'm going to put it right there into place. And now you can wobble. Sorry, I'm like flicking him too hard. The shutter speed's like not even catching it. So he sticks up a little extra, but he would still go flat to ship. He'd be, you know what I mean? No thicker than the other foam layers, but give him a little shimmy shimmy. Oh my gosh. Okay. For real this time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hopefully will be back here on Tuesday next week. I will be back with either something from the Crafty Courtyard Kit monthly subscription or the stamp of the month. I haven't decided yet, but I have both in my possession. So we'll play with something new for February on Tuesday, as long as I don't have the flu. And I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Please stay healthy, stay safe. And I will see you guys back here next week. Until next time, happy crafting. Have a good night.